And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Thursday. It's June 3rd. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thursday morning. It's not raining. The sun may be going to shine. I'm not sure. But we welcome you on this Thursday morning. And we welcome our friends from Bates Ford, 1673 West Main, the dealer. Don't trade for anything you don't eat. We've got Paul and Ronnie this morning. Paul Tubbs, Dealer Operations Manager. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Ronnie Kelly in sales for at least 34 years. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
All right. Well, what's the rain done for you this week?
I just slowed things down, canceled baseball practice. I had a very enjoyable evening. My kids was gone to hit baseballs indoor, and I said the sun came out about 4:30 or 5 o'clock, and I went out to the golf course, and I was the only person on the whole place, so I figured that was a pretty good time.
You had it to yourself.
The whole course, all 9 holes.
Well, you selling any cars? Ronnie, you selling any cars this week?
Yes, sell some cars. You know, we and this week we went from a hero to a zero because we're starting all over again. So we need to use cars. We have a lot of used cars to
you're
sell.
talking about the first of the month.
Right, first of the month.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
First of the month. What can you do for me today? So that's what Paul is looking for today. Yeah. So the rain kind of held us back a little bit, but we still sold a few cars in the rain. So hopefully, we'll continue to get this month going good, and hopefully we'll be very successful.
You are still looking for anybody that's got anything they want to trade or even come by and sell, and especially if it's a good used car.
Right, we've been very successful at that, and I was in a meeting yesterday, an online meeting with Ford about the microchip. We're down to 12 new vehicles. Normally we keep over 100. So the semiconductor microchip deal, they were going over that. They said that June and July are still going to be pretty tough. They feel like August they should start getting our inventory back to where we need to be. So, we're kind of relying on one. I had a good customer that's bought several vehicles yesterday, had a truck that he bought from us 6 months ago. Put 1,200 miles on it. It's been sitting in his garage, and he said, "You want to buy it back?" And I said, "Sure." So, I ended up buying him. It's a brand new F-150, 1,200 miles, got a tonneau cover, running boards. We bought a Explorer off somebody that it had 800 miles, brand new. So we're reaching out everywhere we can to get vehicles. We've got another Super Duty coming in. We had a Super Duty come in right now, which is very rare. Some of the stories I'm hearing up north is they're selling them for $5,000 over sticker because they're so hard to get diesel Super Duties. But we had people from North Carolina, Memphis, all over when this truck hit our internet. So we got another one of them coming in, and we've got several. Our used car inventory is in excellent shape. It's just, unfortunately, the new vehicles is where everybody in the industry, if you ride by Wilson County, our friends over there, they're kind of going through the same issue. Dodge, it's a nationwide. Guy showed me a picture yesterday of a Toyota dealership in Houston, Texas that usually keeps like 700 cars, and they had like 43 on their lot at that time. So it's just a nationwide issue with, I think because of COVID and all that, factories being shut down. If you look around, no matter if you're ordering a washer or dryer or a grill or whatever, it's just right now it takes a while to get anything, unfortunately. And cars.
But you do have the used ones, and Ronnie's making his sales that way for the most part.
Right, and we're trying to get all the salespeople is focusing on used right now. Yeah. But we have a lot. We do sell a lot of new cars, and so it's kind of putting a damper on us. But the used cars is doing real well.
Well, we always talk about your oil change. Cheapest in town, hadn't changed the price.
I haven't. We just kind of
for June.
No, $24.95 up to 5 quarts, and like I always say, we don't just dump oil in it and give your car. We like to give a thorough inspection, look the car over, make sure we're checking the brakes, batteries, hoses. A lot of times, it's, everybody's starting to go on vacation again, and if you before you go out of town, if you want to come by and get an oil change and let us give you a good inspection. And if you do need something, one thing that we're heavily involved in is tires. Ford will meet or beat anybody's price on tires. So, if you want to, right now there's rebates and going on up to $140. Always when we put tires on, we'll give you a lifetime rotation, and when we do tires, we'll meet or beat anybody's price on tires.
Well, I don't know how you can get any better than that.
No, it's a pretty good deal.
And of course, batteries, great deal on batteries too.
Batteries too, 134.95. 90% of the vehicles we put them in free, and Ford has the best warranty on batteries in the market. You get a 3-year free replacement, which means that Ford, if it goes bad within them 3 years, Ford will put you another one in for free. And then once the 3 years lapses, they'll prorate it up to 100 months. So it's a great deal.
Ronnie, you can have the last word this morning. We're
Yes.
out of time here.
Okay, and if you're going out of town and you take your vehicle down to Bates Ford to get it serviced, and you're sitting in the service department or in the waiting area, and you decide, I think I want to trade that car, just come on in and talk to one of the friendly sales staffs, and we'll take care of the bill and put you in a pre-owned car.
Boy, we know you will. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main, the dealer to trade for anything you don't eat. Y'all have a great week, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Thank you.
All right. Paul Tubbs, Dealer Operations Manager, Ronnie Kelly in sales, and that takes us to 10 minutes after the hour. And let me welcome my guest for part one this morning. Normally, we have, and we did have a member of the Lebanon City Commission invited this morning, but this person can't make it, and I've got a great substitute this morning, a lady who not only knows a lot about economic development, but has even substituted for me a time or two. Sarah Hastings, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. How are you?
I'm doing well, and how about you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Yeah, you sat here and listened to all of this about Bates Ford and Paul and Ronnie this morning, and you were telling me once upon a time when you were guest host, you were on Thursday when they were here.
I was. It was exciting. And Ronnie Kelly and I were in Kiwanis together, so I have lunch with him every Monday.
Oh, so now you were president of Kiwanis. Are you?
I'm not currently president, but lucky for me, I got to be president twice. 2 times in a row, back to back.
Two? Oh, back to back. You?
Yeah,
Oh, all right. Well, you got a double dose.
I did. It was a good time.
So, are you enjoying being past president?
Yes, I am. And my good friend Sean Dozier, he is the current president of Kiwanis.
Right. Well, it seems to me that I saw you and one of you have 2 daughters, don't
I have 2 daughters. One is 13 and one is 11, Charlie Mae and Addison.
Well, did one of them finish middle school or?
Yes, so they're both having a year of transition. Charlie Mae just finished the 8th grade at Walter J.
Okay.
Had a great experience, and she will be a freshman at Lebanon High.
Heading to high school.
Right. In fact, she just tried out for the volleyball team, so fingers crossed, because that was last night, so we haven't heard back yet. And Addison just finished 5th grade at Sam Houston Elementary. So we've been at Sam Houston for quite a while. Both girls went there, and she's going to be a 6th grader at Walter J. And she tried out for the volleyball team, and she made it. So we're excited for her to have an opportunity to play.
Well, you are the Economic Development Director for the City of Lebanon, and you've been out here with us a number of times. Sometimes, especially when Bernie was mayor, you substituted for him on occasion. And you haven't been here for a little while, and I thought since I needed somebody this morning, you were the first one I called, and you said yes, so I appreciate that.
Well, thank you for asking me. I'm excited to be here.
Oh, let's talk about it. By the time I mentioned 3 things here, it'd probably be time to go to the break, and you can comment on this. The Spring Music Series, this is Thursday, weather permitting. If it doesn't rain, it'll be there today, which is the Center Stage Theater Company. And have you had an opportunity to go to, there's been 3 before today. This is the 4th of 6.
Yes, and unfortunately today has already been called, so it's been canceled for this afternoon, so because of the weather. But I have
I'm glad you got us up to date.
Yes, so today is canceled, but it'll be back on next Thursday, hopefully. But I have been, I've attended them, and they've been fantastic. They've been a lot of fun, and we've had a good crowd. There's food trucks, so you can have lunch there, and of course you can always bring your own lunch. And it's kind of cool to see people, outside again, having events, but also bring in blankets and chairs, and the music has been fantastic.
Yeah. Well, the City of Lebanon and Historic Lebanon both are part of the sponsorship of this. And in case you're wondering, on next Thursday, June 10th, again, weather permitting, Ava Page is supposed to be there.
Awesome.
Another thing that is going to be happening tonight, and we did a program about this last week, but the Adult Learning Center's graduation is tonight over at Fairview Church, and that will begin at 7 o'clock. And I'm doing this off my memory, but I believe Dr. Donna Wright is supposed to not only hand out the diplomas, but be the guest speaker for tonight. That's usually a well-attended graduation. And the other thing we'll mention before we go to the break, I know you are a little bit familiar with Nettie Jacobs Heritage Day coming up on Saturday, June 5th, out at the Ward Ag Center.
Yep.
You got anything to do with that?
No.
No. Well, the mayor is supposed to be the judge, I believe, of the there's this outhouse
Yes.
race.
He is judging that race.
It says, let the good times roll. Outhouse races, Pioneer Games. We're going to be talking more about this tomorrow, but I just thought I'd mention it today. Vendor booths and demonstrations, and it's all in the Fiddler's Grove in the historic village there. Nettie Jacobs Heritage Day. Okay, with that, we'll take a break, and we'll get to talk about economic development with Sarah Hastings when we come back here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:16. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota Exmark. Large inventory of Exmark mowers for homeowners and commercial users. #1 selling brand. Buy 2-to-1 over any other commercial mower brand. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Looks like a crash here on 24 westbound, just past OHB here in the Antioch area. You got all this traffic flow trying to get in from Rutherford County. And right now, up through here, it's pretty heavy because of this crash on 24 westbound. Again, here in Antioch, just past OHB, coming in from Rutherford County. 5500 block of Blue Hole Road in Antioch. That wreck should be cleared in just a few more minutes. Princess Hot Chicken is now open inside the Assembly Food Hall near the National Museum of African American Music on Broadway. You can always log on to princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. Sarah Hastings, my guest, Economic Development Director for the City of Lebanon. What's happening and what you're doing right now? We've probably got a lot to talk about here because of the COVID we kind of think is in the rearview mirror for the most part, and that surely has opened up some things, and you probably, although you're probably still doing a lot on the phone or on the internet or however you do things, but
Yeah,
still
sure.
it's improved, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I'm on the phone a lot. I'm still having a lot of digital meetings with people from different states. You know, we're not seeing as much travel from the other states that I'm used to seeing, but in-person meetings are definitely picking up. But like just yesterday, I was on the phone with someone from Florida where had COVID not happened, he probably would have been on a plane and come down. But it's definitely changed the amount of meetings I can have in a day. But I joke a lot that I'm literally on the phone, I feel like, all the time. But that's part of my job, is to make phone calls and just talk to as many people as I can. And really, if you're looking to expand your business or open a business in Middle Tennessee, we want you to look at Lebanon. We want to be considered. And that goes across the board, from commercial development to, corporate jobs, everything. The only thing we're really trying to limit most recently is warehousing. We've seemed to be inundated with that. And so we're really trying to make sure that we're raising that sophistication, not just with the look and the appearance of the development, but also with the quality of the jobs, and to make sure that we're bringing in the jobs that fit the people in our demographics of our community.
Well, I know recently Mayor Bell was very proud to announce the Whataburger.
Yes.
It sounds, when you say it, like you're saying a water burger, Whataburger.
Yeah,
And you, no doubt, had a lot to do with that.
I did. And that's an exciting project. It's, like Maribel said, it's an iconic restaurant. And so there's so many people who are familiar with it. And, we put it on social media for the announcement and it just took over. I was looking at the numbers yesterday and that particular post was shared over 2,500 times and it reached over 300,000 people and it has over 800 comments.
Were most of them positive? All of them positive?
Yeah. I mean, there's always a few people who want more, So it's not that anyone was negative. It was that everybody still wants more, and we hear that and we understand that, and we're working on it. And when I say wanting more, it's that sit down restaurants, and you can't please everybody, but we're trying. I know I'm the same way. You have a family, you want a place to go out to dinner, and you want choices and a variety. And when you look at the development that we have had in the past, several years, we're really missing that key component of sit down restaurants. And so that's definitely a focus for Mayor Bell and the direction that he's given me. And we're trying to do that.
Well, I know you have to look ahead, but when you think a year ago, a year and 2 months ago, when what we were facing then, why would anybody get all that wrapped up or enthusiastic about right now we've got to come to Lebanon, Tennessee and put in a sit-down restaurant when most people were curb buying, if they bought it all, staying at home and all this kind of thing.
You're exactly right, and that is part of the challenge. So just because there's a want and a desire and a need for that particular item, it doesn't mean that it's the market is ready for it. Mm-hmm. So even the fast casuals that we're talking to who are looking at Lebanon and saying, this is where I want to be, they want drive-through access when in the past that wasn't part of their business model. They want outdoor seating options. It's just a different day. So we have to look at our codes and we have to make sure that we're in alignment with what those new needs are. But there still are sit-down restaurants that are expanding. They haven't completely stopped. So we just want to make sure that we're on their radar. And I basically cold call as many as I can. And I have a program that we've paid money for several years ago where I can run inquiries on businesses that are expanding in Tennessee. Mm-hmm. And we know that they're out there looking. Now, they might not be looking at Lebanon, but I definitely want to talk to them. So
okay.
I can.
Yeah, all right, that's it. Now, I want to know how you do this. So you actually call somebody up. Hey, I'm Sarah Hastings, economic director, Lebanon, Tennessee. And then what do you say? We want you here, but how do you say that?
Yeah. So it's a mathematical equation. The more people I call, the more people I get to talk to, the more people that I get to talk to, I actually get to meet with. So my goal when I pick up the phone can't be, I got to bring this restaurant here. It has to be to get a meeting, which is a simpler goal. So I actually track, I write down how many calls I make. But so when I talk to them, it's a little different for each one, depending on their brand. Mm-hmm. Like Whataburger's a great story. There are certain brands that when I can tell them Whataburger's coming and how well received it was in the community, they're like, okay, well, where? Let's go talk. Let's go over there. Let's go talk to them. And they kind of have this herd mentality where they flock together, right? Yeah. So when you see that commercial corridor open up, others want to be there, which is why 231 is the way that it is. I mean, yes, you have I-40, yes, you have Walmart, but you're literally getting right on the interstate, and that's where people get off to get food. And it's a major artery in the city, so that's where the people want to be. So we show them spots there, but we also show them other spots, and I present the data. The people who are looking at coming, they're looking at those numbers. So I'll even talk to successful businesses, and I'll say, okay, so what were your numbers last year? What percentage are you up? And then we use those numbers to recruit other businesses. And I say, hey, for example, this chicken place is doing phenomenal. Here are their numbers, and here's how much they've increased even through COVID with utilizing the drive-through, and then they said, whoa, I had no idea, and we get them. And sometimes it's just taking that business and introducing them to the property owner and then letting them do the work. It just depends. Everyone has a different style.
Well, you mentioned 231, and I've many times referred to that as Restaurant Row, which I think is quite fitting. But we got the Hartman Drive.
Yeah.
And you've got a plan kind of that's in place there now. Of course, we've got Outback and then some other places that have come along there. I believe Chili's and there's something else over there on the left as you're going north. But anyway, what about is that a desirable location?
Yes. So Hartman Drive is definitely a desirable location and has picked up in momentum. Now you're not seeing the development and the dirt moving yet, but the momentum of the phone calls and the inquiries and the traffic counts where people are looking at the land and asking those questions, and it's on our list of what we show everyone and when we do our tours of the city. But right now there's pockets down there very close to the interstate where the land's under contract. And that's where my role comes in. So when someone's saying, we have what we call like pre-app meetings, and they'll come in and they'll meet with planning and engineering, and they'll say, this is the land we're looking at. We want to make sure, we're doing everything on the right track. And then they'll answer their engineering questions and their land questions. And then I'll come in and I'll say, well, do you already have a tenant lineup secured? And they say, no, we're working on that. And I say, well, let me help you with that, because here are the types of businesses we're looking for. Mm-hmm. This is what we want, and this is what we don't want. Some of them are low-hanging fruit and are easy to get, and that might not be what we want in our community. And that's where I really try to intervene and say, let's try this. And I'll even give lists of businesses where I know they're interested in Lebanon. I know they're interested in Middle Tennessee, but they haven't found the right spot. And sometimes it's a franchise and the corporation says, no, that's not a good spot. So we let them know, hey, we know these businesses are looking here. Can you reach out to them? And we help connect those dots.
Well, you have an interesting job, to say the least. And another thing, we keep hearing about people coming here and the new apartment complexes and all the dwellings, all the housing that is coming along. That has to be, I would think, in your favor in recruiting places.
Absolutely. It's that catch-22. I mean, we hear the negative side of it, but there's also a very, very positive side of it. And, we've changed the regulations. That was one of Mayor Bell's driving factors in the very beginning, was that raising that sophistication, not just with multifamily, but everything. So we've made it harder to get multifamily here approved because of the guidelines you have to follow. But we still need that. We need the residential units. So it's hard and it gets political even sometimes when it doesn't need to. But when you're talking about residences, you need something for everyone. You have all walks of life in your community. So some people want an $800,000 home. Some people want a $250,000 home. Some people want apartments. Maybe they're moving here from the East Coast and they want to live here a year before they buy something. You want to have something available. So but as a city, we want to make sure that development meets our standards.
Right. Well, one other thing here, we've got a couple of minutes. What about the other interchange, the Watertown exit there? Do you work much in that area?
Yeah. So I really do believe that I'm fair and balanced for the whole city, and that I don't just pick one spot and market it. I really try to represent all major intersections in commercial development. But Sparta Pike Sparta Pike is doing really great right now. If the O'Reillys that came in really opened up some opportunity. You have Cedar City RV that just relocated there, and they have a beautiful facility. We went to their ribbon cutting and celebration, and then just a little bit further down the road, you have that QT that's coming in, which is exciting. I know that it's a gas station, but it's right there off of I-40, and it's a new brand out here, and I met with them actually in Georgia, just to kind of help with the standards and the development of that. So seeing those, it's just a step process, and you have to take those little steps before you can get to the big steps. And to what you mentioned earlier about the new residences coming in, there are natural businesses that will follow those residents. So gas stations is one of them, car washes is one of them, oil change places, and urgent cares. We're seeing a rise of those. So those are natural things that will just happen as the population increases.
All right. Well, you've covered quite a bit of territory here this morning. Tell it you stay busy. You're working hard, and every once in a while there's a great announcement to prove it, right?
Absolutely.
Well, Sarah Hastings, Economic Development Director for City of Lebanon, again, thank you for being with us this morning. We'll have you out again one of these days, and keep on keeping on and plugging away and helping us. How about that?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, that is part one of Coleman and Company. We've got more. We hope you'll keep it here, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:31. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford and the Lifetime Brake Pad Guarantee. With the purchase of a brake service, replacement brake pads will be provided at no cost for as long as the customer owns the vehicle. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. TDOT just showed up to move this crash over to the side. It's flowing a little bit better through here now on 24 westbound at Hickory Hollow Parkway. All the traffic trying to get in right now from Rutherford County into this part of Davidson County on 24 westbound. Again, this crash is over to the side here at Hickory Hollow Parkway. Traffic's on the increase down through Mount Juliet right now on I-40 here in Wilson County. Gatlinburg Wine Cellar, home of the world-famous cotton candy wine. Check out all their flavors at GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
71 degrees all the way.
73 degrees, please.
So what's your perfect degree of comfort? We'll help you find it with professional Rheem HVAC service that'll keep your home comfy year-round, save on energy costs, and may qualify for utility rebates and tax credits. So enjoy a new degree of comfort.
72 degrees, then I'm good to go.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
I do a lot of thinking while I'm driving. I think about my kids, my grandkids, and my insurance business. When's the last time you thought about having your insurance program reviewed? This is John Bryan with THW Insurance. We're an independent, trusted choice insurance agency representing several top-rated insurance companies like Westfield Insurance Company. Give me a call at 615-443-3849 for a no-obligation review of your current insurance plan. THW Insurance Services, serving Lebanon and Wilson County for decades.
Hey, this is Paul from Bates Ford, and we got some great things going on. We got the Works vehicle package for $49.95. Also, we'll meet or beat anybody's price on tires. And on the sales ends, if you got anything that you want to turn into cash, whether it's a vehicle, boat, camper, motorcycle, anything you want to turn into cash, bring it to Bates Ford and we'll buy it. If you got a vehicle you want to get rid of, certainly bring it to Bates Ford for a cash offer. That's Bates Ford, 1673 West Main, the dealer that'll trade for anything that don't eat.
Today's forecast calls for scattered showers, otherwise skies will be mostly cloudy. Highs this afternoon will climb into the upper 70s. On Friday, bright sunny skies do return with temperatures reaching the mid-80s. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's Look at Your Forecast. I'm meteorologist T.J. Scott.
And good morning. Welcome to part two of Coleman and Company. Here on a Thursday morning, we're ready to talk about the Pavilion Senior Living here in Lebanon. Heather Sadler Gallagher is on the phone. Heather, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm kind of thankful we got a little rain and the tomatoes are growing. And how about you?
Well, we were a little disappointed because we had a lot of rain at the Sadler Gallagher house because we couldn't spend all day on the trampoline. But, they built forts in the house, and so the summer is here. So,
Well, how are things to Pavilion? I know that we've talked about this a little bit, that some restrictions have loosened up. Visitation is a little bit more prevalent, and things are looking up. Are they still really looking up?
they are still really looking up. We are still, we're still allowing visitors to come in. Of course, if they're screened at the front door, we have a system that when they screens them, it automatically takes their temperature and logs it and everything for us. And so we have that. And then we also, we're not allowing visitors to eat with everybody in the dining room just yet and things like that. So, but they can go to their rooms and enjoy a visit. And that's going well. We've got our beautician back in there, and that makes everybody happy too, to get their hair done. And so we're doing good.
Well, that's great to hear.
They're actually getting their first visit to go to Publix on an outdoor little shopping trip. So we're kind of starting that back too as well. So, man, it's feeling good over there.
Well, do you have any openings at all?
I don't right now.
Well, that's a good problem, I guess.
It's a good problem. You're right, because I sure hate if somebody needs assisted living or memory care immediately that we don't have a spot for them. But I've always said, the average person that looks at assisted living, the time they look at it, the time they move in is 6 months, and a lot of things can change in 6 months. We have started a wait list, so we've got a wait list for both assisted living and memory care. So if anybody's thinking about it or has questions about it, give us a call. We even so much got are so full that our model room we have rented out our model room. So we're completely a full house.
Well, that number is 615-444-5556, and maybe we better tell everybody where 1409 Medical Center Drive is. Of course, anybody that doesn't know, I guess you Google that or whatever other service is available. We always say Google, but you do that, you can find it. But we can tell you that it's real simple. It's just north of Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, and instead of turning left into the emergency room, you go one street further there, and that's Medical Center Drive, and you're down there on the right. You've been going strong since you started. Was it? It was August. August of what year?
August of 2014. No, 2016.
Okay, all right. So you're 4.5 years old, approximately.
It is. I have to think about it because my youngest Savvy was born right when we were opening. So that's how I always have to remember is what year it is. So.
It's certainly been a tremendous success, and the fact that you offer both assisted living and memory care has been good for the people who need it. And now that you are full and have a waiting list, it doesn't get much better than that, Heather.
Well, now we just have to make sure we provide all the services to our residents. That's what we focus on right now. So we're keeping that focus at the top of our priorities for sure.
All right. Anything else you want to go before, or anything else you want to say before we let you go?
That's all I got today.
All right.
I'll be back with you next Thursday.
All right. That'll be great. And we'll talk with you then. Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
Heather Sadler Gallagher, she is the marketing director and at the moment the interim administrator for the Pavilion Senior Living, again at 1409 Medical Center Drive. You can go to their website, www.thepavilionseniorliving.com, and also her phone number, 615-444-5556. All right, have a guest this morning, and it's we'd say a new person, somebody you've never met before, and I think somebody you're going to enjoy hearing a story from this morning. And I want to introduce Lillian Barretta. And Lillian, good morning.
Good morning. Great to be here.
Welcome to Coleman and Company.
It's my great pleasure to be here. And I want to just say congratulations on your Tennessee radio induction. That is a big deal. So congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. It's coming up last of July, and looking forward to that, of course. But thank you for reminding us. And you are a Mount Juliet resident, and you've got a
an event coming up called Dinner in the Vines, but this is all to support a service, I guess we could say, that you offer in the community for the Joe Barretta Foundation. So get us started. Tell us what this is all about.
Sure. So we have, I'll just start kind of from the beginning and give you the short version, but we have family that has lived here in Tennessee for, 45 years, and it took me 9 years to get here, which is the story. I wanted to be here so much, and my husband and I moved here at the end of 2013. And my husband was a very strong, big, super healthy Italian guy. Big, bald Italian guy is the best way to explain him. Really smart and very funny. Yeah. And we had a very big dream of being here. He had retired from corporate America, and we wanted to be here, so we finally were able to get here. And we bought a home in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Our house is easy to find because we're the only house that I know of in Mount Juliet that has a vineyard in their front yard. Because we have always had vines. We've always made our own wine, just for our family, nothing, commercial about it. But when we moved to Mount Juliet, we planted this beautiful vineyard. And shortly after that, my husband started to have problems with heart failure. So just to give you a few, because now I've become this statistical machine that I never imagined I was going to be. But 6.5 million Americans over the age of 20 in the United States have heart failure right now. And heart failure is not heart attack. It's when the muscles of your heart or the ventricles are not functioning properly. And so the blood doesn't get to all the corners of your body that it needs to. So it's a huge part of our country that has heart failure. And right now, heart failure accounts for more hospitalizations in the United States than all cancer combined. So it's a big number of people that are constantly having to go to the hospital because of heart failure. And we didn't know anything about this world. We were very, very surprised when Joe started having issues because he has always been a really strong guy. So we ended up at Centennial Hospital in Nashville, and I thank God every day that we were here in Nashville when this happened to us, because we were at some of the best hospitals in the whole country, helping us deal with what was happening to Joe. So at that time, we found out that Joe needed what's called an LVAD, which is a left ventricle assist device, because his left ventricle wasn't functioning properly. So we were super, I can't even tell you what a time that was of surprise and just, uncertainty. And so we ended up at Vanderbilt Hospital because at that time, Centennial did not have a VAD program, but they do now. And it's amazing that all three hospitals, St. Thomas, Centennial, and Vanderbilt, now have a VAD program, and St. Thomas and Vanderbilt have a heart transplant program. And that was my husband's end goal, was heart transplant. So he ended up at Vanderbilt, had the most amazing care. I can't speak highly enough of both hospitals we were in, just amazing care. And Joe received an LVAD as a bridge to transplant, is the terminology. So he did very, very well. It's an amazing, very intrusive surgery. We were in the hospital total. At that point, we were probably in the hospital 30 days between Centennial and Vanderbilt, in order for him to be eligible and get all the screenings and tests. And while we were in the hospital, though, we started seeing what I called an isolating experience, because we lived in Nashville. We had family that could visit. We had, food, activity in our room. And when I was in the CCU at Vanderbilt, it's a long hallway, glass. All the rooms have a glass front and little curtain. That's how you have privacy. But most of the time you could see into the rooms. And what I would see is just a patient by themselves, or a patient and a caregiver, maybe, and it would be quiet. And because we're an Italian Spanish family. You know, our room had food and activity and, you know, all kinds of things was happening in our room. But I didn't see that in other rooms. So I just started to ask questions. You know, I asked the nurses, well, where's the family? Where's the friends? And that's when we found out that we were very unique in that we lived here so family could come. Most of these hospitals, because it's such an invasive surgery and because the outcomes, you know, have to be monitored so closely, most of the hospitals require you to stay beforehand and after surgery for at least an hour away, maximum. So most people, because there's only 3% of the hospitals in the whole United States that are capable of doing these surgeries, most people come in from other states, other parts of Tennessee, and have to stay sometimes 12, 16 weeks total in this area. And some people actually end up moving here because, you know, you don't have the surgery and then you're done. You're visiting, you're coming back. It's a lot of meds you're on, a lot of tweaking that has to happen. So that's when we started seeing the problems. And then I started talking to people and I found out one lady was sleeping in her car because she couldn't afford, you know, so you can stay in the hospital with your caregiver, but not everybody can do that.
Right.
And this lady had a child that was with her. He was like 12 years old. So he couldn't stay in the hospital. So they were sleeping in their car. And all these things just started to impact our family because, you know, our family, when we see a need, we react, you know. Yeah. And we decided we were gonna do something. So then what happened to Joe was he got his LVAD. He was doing great. The LVAD itself developed a blood clot. So he ended up back in the hospital and having to have everything removed and then all new put in. And he just never really recovered from that. I mean, it was 2 major surgeries in a very short amount of time, and he didn't recover. So he passed in July of 2016. And when that happened, you know, I say that our family, like, put on their armor and gear and said, that's it, and the gun's drawn, and we're coming against heart failure because it took from us the most important thing. And we decided we were going to come against it in a very strong way.
All right, we need to take a break here, but so you established this foundation, and that's what this dinner we're going to be talking about in a minute is all about.
Yes.
And you're using this to help people in the situation you found all of them, I take it.
Yes.
All right, I'm not trying to jump
No,
too far ahead,
that's
but
great.
Okay. Lillian Barretta, and you're our board president of this foundation, by the way. We will talk more in a moment after this on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And at 7:46, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank Absolute Kubota Exmark large inventory of Exmark mowers for homeowners and commercial users. #1 selling brand, bought 2-to-1 over any other commercial mower brand. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning again. T-Dot's got this right to the side here on 24 westbound at Hickory Hollow Parkway. There's just so much traffic trying to get through here at the same time. All the traffic coming in from Rutherford County and this part of Davidson County here on 24 westbound up by Hickory Hollow Parkway. Murfreesboro Pike at Ezell Pike. A crash just now happened at that intersection. I-40 still looking good right now. Eastbound coming through Kingston Springs. All the traffic flow coming in from Dixon County. Ripley's Aquarium Sleep of the Sharks Family Edition is something the kids and the grandkids will love. Check it out at Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
West Tree Service, locally owned and operated in Lebanon, Tennessee. With over 25 years experience, our primary goal is to provide high-quality professional service with attention to detail. At West Tree Service, we use better equipment to be more efficient, which equals reasonable prices for our customers. We offer free estimates with no obligation. We are licensed and fully insured. West Tree Service, honest service, says professional, courteous, and on time. For more information, visit westtreecare.com or call 615-456-2011.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us here on this Thursday morning. Again, Lillian Barretta is with us, and she is president of the Joe Barretta Foundation. And to just summarize quickly here, your husband, who's
was in the hospital for an extended period of time. You saw other people there who didn't have family. You had family. He was very well visited and taken care of, not only by the hospital, but by the family and all this. But you saw a need, and especially since he didn't make it, you've established this foundation. You're helping people. So tell us what you're doing, and then we'll get into this dinner to support what you're doing.
Yes. So the Joe Barretta Foundation, we meet the practical needs of families and patients going through end-stage heart failure. So what that means is we provide temporary housing while they're here in Nashville. And our end goal is to build the Papa Joe house, but that's a whole other conversation. So we provide temporary housing. We pay back bills. So if they're behind on their mortgage or their car payments or their utility, whatever, we pay those bills. We provide gas cards that help patients get back and forth to their hospital visits. And then if they need food or something, we do that as well.
All right, now you've been doing this for 4 or 5 years? You started
Since 2016.
Okay, all right. So you have a fundraiser then. This is called Dinner in the Vines, and according to the information you've given me here, that'll be a week from Saturday, won't it? On Saturday, June the 12th. And tell us all about it and where it's going to be.
So it's actually at my home. We have a very lovely home. We actually have people drive up our driveway all the time asking if they could buy wine, if they can get married at my home, if they can have an event there. And a lot of times I say yes.
Oh, okay. A lot of times.
A lot of times I say yes. Not every time, but a lot of times.
Right.
So it's at 855 Pleasant Grove Road in Mount Juliet. And it's right in our vineyard, which is in the front of the house. We have 315 grapevine. And it's our hobby. It's something Joe and I wanted to do together. So
is that quite a scenic, picturesque?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's very, very beautiful. Yeah. And we've done a very good job maintaining it. And the vines always look amazing. And we fight deer, pestilence, weather, bugs. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Well, the wine pretty good.
The wine is, it's good. I mean, I'm not sure.
Depends on the year.
It depends on the year. And I mean, you're a farmer too as a hobby. So am I.
Yeah.
But this year's looking very, very good. Yeah. So.
All right. Now, this dinner, tell us about, it's going to be at your house and Saturday, June 12th, which is a week from this Saturday. You buy tickets. You have some VIP tickets. This is a genuine fundraiser. And so you.
So
bring you.
Yes, so that will be outside. There might be a tent depending if there's rain, but it's a large area. There's Italian food. There's a live band. There's a silent auction with some really neat, one-of-a-kind experiences that you can purchase or bid on.
Now, have you been doing this? This is not the first time for Dinner in the Vines.
No, this is actually our fourth time. We did not let COVID stop us last year.
Well, how have you done in the previous 3 years?
Excellent. It's one of our major fundraisers. We get about 100 to 125 people that come. It's really a fun night. I mean, we get a lot of repeat people because it's a unique experience in the heart of Mount Juliet.
All right, your first year, how did you attract people that year? I'm sure a lot of them that came the first year came back and so on, and those type things seem to build. But the first time would probably
So you're going to laugh, but the first time we really leaned on friends and family to invite people to the event. And we got involved with the Mount Juliet Chamber, which the Mount Juliet Chamber has been amazing to us and helped us, Mark is a wonderful man, and Marla in the office gets everything done. So the Mount Juliet Chamber really, really helped us, make the event our first year successful.
Well, I don't know whether you want to give out figures or not, but I'm wondering, give us an idea how much money you might have raised.
Well, so this year, if all goes well and all the tickets sell and we get sponsorships from different businesses that help with the costs, we'll make $25,000 to $30,000 at this event, which all the money goes right to helping the families and the patients.
Do you have people who are requesting, asking for help nearly every week. Say.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Because we service all 3 hospitals here in Nashville. And we're also in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at UPMC. We're talking to Allegheny General Hospital. We're talking to a hospital in Kentucky and then one in Virginia, because we see heart failure is not a Tennessee problem. It's a world problem, United States problem.
Well, you're the board president. How many people on the board with you?
There's 18 people on the board right now, and it's all manner of, abilities. Yes, yeah. We're very proud of our board.
Well, are you pleased with where you are?
I'm never pleased where I am. I always want to grow and do more and help more, and because so before COVID, I was in the hospital every Friday. I would visit, families, talk to them, and the way you get to us is through the social workers in the hospital. I mean, but I was there every Friday, and I miss being there very much. And I'm never satisfied because the need is big.
All right. If someone wants to attend, tell us about your tickets and all of this.
So you can go to our website, which is www.tjbf, which stands for the Joe Barretta Foundation.org. And right at the top, you'll see Purchase Dinner in the Vines ticket. Or you can go through Eventbrite and just put in Dinner in the Vines, and we'll be the first one up, and you can purchase tickets. Unfortunately, right now, our VIP experience is completely sold out. You can't purchase that ticket anymore. But our normal ticket sales are still available, but it's going fast.
Well, now, I see a date on here, May 15th. It's after May 15th, so you pay the higher price now.
You pay the higher price now, unless you contact me personally, and maybe I can get you a discount code, which, I'm just going to give you my email, which is lillianbarretta@tjbf.org, and I'll see what I can do.
All right, now it says here that cocktail hour is at 6 p.m. and the dinner will be served at 7. So that's at your home. And I'm looking for your address.
855 Pleasant Grove Road.
And you're the only home you know of in Wilson County
that I know of. There's one out there. It might exist because Wilson County is big.
Vineyard in the front yard.
Vineyard in the front yard, very meticulously cared for.
Yeah. Well, do you?
I do it. I'm out there with my farmer hat on. I mean, I love it. I'm out there fighting the bugs and the weather.
You send over 300 grapevines.
15, yeah.
350.
Yeah, it's our hobby. It's a hobby vineyard. We're not a winery. We're just a hobby vineyard. We're a private vineyard in Mount Juliet, so you kind of have to ask to be invited on. But a lot of people come, believe me.
You said a few minutes ago that you do have people though that come and want to buy wine
all the time,
and you have to say no.
I have to say no. I'll go to jail. If I say yes, I don't be bootlegging. No.
Well, you're in the same category there as somebody who is maybe making their own homebrew whiskey or whatever.
I can gift it. I can gift it, and there will be an opportunity this year at Dinner in the Vines that I might be able to gift some wine, which I've never done before. And
well, what about you mentioned, I believe, silent auction? What some of the items?
Yeah, so we have a tremendous sports package that for all the sports in Nashville. We have vacation rental, properties that people donate. We have a very neat Hard Rock Cafe silent auction. It's actually almost a $2,000 value that people can have a multiple night stay. Dinner. We really do a good job getting experiences that
is everybody that's a member of the board really involved and has a part to play? Some larger than others probably, but everybody's working hard to make this Dinner in the Vines a big success and bring in all the money you can.
Yes, and it's beautifully done. I mean, I don't do anything without there being an element of beauty in it, so it's different every year. We decorate it different every time. I mean, it's a very good meal and a very different experience every year.
Mm-hmm. And you're going to really be busy between now and a week from Saturday.
I am. I'll be in the Vines every day. You can come visit me there, believe me.
Well, again, all proceeds benefit the Joe Barretta Foundation. That's your late husband,
Mhm.
and really, what I think, what a great way to remember him. You were telling what a nice guy he was, what a
Amazing
great guy
man.
he was. No
Very
doubt
smart.
you miss him, but at least
Yes.
you're doing this in his honor and his memory, and people are benefiting as a result.
Yes,
It's
sir.
benefiting greatly, really.
Yes.
You, I think in the beginning here, you expressed this so well, how that these people, they're in the hospital, they don't have anybody to come and visit them, they need help. Some of them really need monetary help, and the Joe Barretta Foundation provides that.
Yeah, if I can explain one more thing.
All right.
So because this is such an invasive surgery, there is a team that meets every Tuesday. I'm just going to give Vanderbilt as an example. And there's dollars spent before and after, and they have to know that the family can manage the dollars because, you know, it's such an intrusive surgery. So that Tuesday, they'll meet, they'll talk about all the patients, and if the patient can't financially do it, they don't get it, and they have hospice as their. So we step in the gap and we say we will do it. We will take those additional expenses, and then the family can now have the procedure done. So we know we've saved at least 60 families. Wow. So we're very proud of that number. We're a young organization, but we're doing good work.
Lillian, we're out of time. Thanks for coming this
Yeah.
morning, and I hope that you can raise a lot of money for your foundation. And again, this dinner in the Vines will be Saturday, June 12th. And tell us where to go for tickets now. You got a website, you said?
The www.tjbf.org, or you can do it through Eventbrite.
Okay. All right. Well, appreciate you being with us, and we certainly wish you well. Maybe next year when you do it again, you can come back and we'll talk
I would love
more.
to. We do a Christmas event. I'll bring Santa with me that time.
All right. Lillian Barretta, board president, and that is it for a Thursday. Join us tomorrow for the Friday edition. Till then, I wish you a tremendous day.